Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and this is Expedition Through Pages. And today I'm bringing you a very late April TBR. It's already the 7th of April where I am, and when I put this out it'll probably be more mid-April. So I'm really sorry about that. Things kind of got a bit delayed this month. I've already put a video out where I played Tales from Two Trails for the month of April, so if you missed that video I will link it down in the description for you. It's good. I think it's nearing the end of that game, so we'll see how next month goes. But anyway, I rolled all the prompts, so if you don't want to be spoiled for the game, then go ahead and watch that before watching this TBR video. I usually do give my TBR during that video, but I changed things up a bit in April and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking of reading here instead. So as always, we pulled 6 prompts from Tales from Two Trails, and the very first prompt was to read a book that you have already started. That was the prompt, at least for me, slightly different for you guys if you want it to be. And the book that I've decided to go with for that is Mythos by Stephen Fry. This is his retelling of Greek myths. And I did start reading this such a long time ago. I put it on a TBR, I think, for my previous TBR game, which I played ages ago. And yeah, I'm pretty far through. The idea of this prompt is to pick up a book that I already started a while ago and put down. And so that's why I've gone with this one rather than continuing on with books I've already started, because I can do that for my game anyway. When I stopped reading, I was on page 268. I'll probably go back to the start of the myth that I was currently reading about, which is Sisyphus? I have no idea if you pronounce it like that. I haven't got long to go for this one, but I was enjoying it. I just think I got a bit mythed out by the time I got to 268, and so I put it down and didn't pick it up again, but now's my chance to finish it up. The second prompt we got was to read a book featuring water, and for this I'm going to read Passage of Tears by Abdurrahman A. Waberi. This, I have already started reading it as well, but that's absolutely fine. Could technically count for the other prompt. I got to page 54. Oh, I stopped in the middle of a chapter. That is not cool. So yeah, I'll probably go back to the start of that chapter, which is page 52. This is also a read that I'm doing with Emily from Emily Beth Hall, and we will eventually be having a live show where we talk about this one. The third prompt that we got was YouTube feed, and so for this I'll put it up on the screen, but I already went through my YouTube feed. I scrolled until I found a video that is predominantly about books and talks about specific books rather than discussion video, and I watched through Lauren from Lauren and the Books' wrap up for the month of March, and one of the books that she spoke about was The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. And yeah, she didn't like it actually, and I think Lauren DNF'd it, but I really wanted to read this book for a while, because I feel like, I don't know if this is a generalization, but I feel like if you like the Starless Sea, you're more likely to like this book. I don't know if that's true, where I've got that information from, why I think that, but that's just what I've got in my head. And Whitney from TBR actually read this for last month's Tales from Two Trails, and she did like it. I think she gave it 4.5 stars. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be reading for this prompt, The 10,000 Doors of January. And I just want to see my thoughts on it compared to Lauren from Lauren and the Books' thoughts. So yeah, it was a bit of a strange choice to go for one from Lauren's wrap up that she didn't like, but I also think me and Lauren don't read the same books necessarily, so I'm hoping that that means that I will like this. I have just started it today and I'm on page 32, so not too far in, but yeah, I managed to get this one out from the library, so I'm excited that I could get hold of this one for free as well. Prompt number 4 was read a book by a favourite author, and okay, so for this one, I'm actually going with a short story, and I'm going with a short story by Robin Hobb, because Robin Hobb is 100% my favourite author of all time. And so I'm going to be reading the short story of, if I can find it, Homecoming. Homecoming, yeah. I think it's just short of 100 pages, but it's set in, I can't remember what part of the world it's set in. It might be the live ship traders kind of setting. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to be reading that short story because, like I said, Robin Hobb is my favourite author, and it'll be nice to jump back into this world again because I love it so much. Prompt number 5 was to read a sci-fi, and so for this I've chosen Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I have actually heard mixed things about this one now, so I'm a bit concerned, especially because I did read The Glass Hotel, was it last month? I can't remember now. Yeah, I think I read The Glass Hotel in February, and I didn't love it like I loved Station 11, which I was sad about. So yeah, I'm going into this one a bit more cautious than I went into The Glass Hotel. But I am still pretty excited. I don't really know much about the premise of this, except that it does kind of link Station 11 and Glass Hotel somehow. And yeah, anyway, I'm excited to read it regardless of the fact that my expectations have lowered a little bit. And finally, the last prompt was mood read. And at the moment, I'm in the mood to read The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. This has been on my shelves for absolutely ages, and I don't know why, I'm just in the mood for it. I think the cover is absolutely stunning, and yeah, we'll see if I do manage to get to this one. I don't know when I'm going to start my mood read. I guess just when I'm next thinking about which book to pick up, then hopefully I'll still be in the mood for this one. If not, I'll have to pick another book, but I do really want to read this. Sorry, I haven't really been talking about what the books are about, but I find that I always get it wrong if I haven't read them, slightly wrong with what they're about. And so I just rather talk about them, you know, once I've picked them up, really, because I don't want to say the wrong thing or say too much. Sometimes you can say too much if you just read the back and then talk about it, because sometimes there are spoilers. Anyway, so that is Tales from Two Trails. That was my TBR for that. I have been doing the Year of Aelida, which was set up by G from Book Roast, and this is all part of the Aurelium Magical Readathon. And in the month of April, we're actually going to school. We're going to university, and I've decided that I'm going to start again, and I'm going to try and get my novice, because I think I failed last year. If I didn't fail, then I didn't really keep track of what was going on. I am playing as a character, Aya. She's part fire earthling, she's part human, and I can't remember exactly what I said about her, but I think she was brought up in the city and she's very much kept away from her fire earthling side, and she just feels like she has roots in nature, but she doesn't know too much about that whole world. I think that's where it is. Anyway, she kind of, yeah, didn't have a great time last year, so she's going back, she's starting anew. I think last year she was going for the maths-based one. I can't remember what it's called now. But this year, Aya is starting on her path to become a crafts mage, which is very exciting. There aren't very many prompts for this one, which is lucky. So me or Aya, whoever, it has to take 3 classes, and the 3 classes for the spring equinox we have to take are inscription, artificery, and spells and incantations. And so first up we have inscription, and for this we are learning to make a flight glyph. A glyph that gives you flight somehow, I guess. And so the prompt for this is to read a book from your highest shelf. Now initially I did pick The Vanishing Half for this one because this is on my top shelf on one of my bookshelves. However, on top of my bookshelf, which is technically a shelf as well, I do have more books piled up, like mainly books that I need to give to charity, but right at the top was a book that my sister really wants me to read, and she gave me the book to read. And so I thought, in the spirit of, you know, a flight glyph, I should probably go for the highest one, because it is on my bookshelves. It's just on top of my bookshelves. Having said all that, it's not really my kind of book, and I'm really worried about reading it because, yeah, it's a challenging book to read, let's just put it that way. It is We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver. Yeah, I did say I wasn't going to talk about what these books are, but this is challenging for me because it's about a boy who murdered 7 of his fellow high school students, and it's about his mum and the aftermath of all of that, I think. And I just think, yeah, I'm not one for reading scary things or reading... I do read challenging books, but not challenging books like this, and I think I'm going to find it difficult to read. But my sister does really want me to read it, and it was at the very top of my shelves. And so I'm going to try to read this for inscription. Okay, artificery is conduit enhancement, and for this you have to start one of your reads with a snack. I've already done this. I did have a book out of the library where I started my book with a snack. I had to send it back to the library because I ran out of time and there's a queue for it, so I couldn't keep it, I couldn't renew it. So I've actually bought it and it's arriving tomorrow, I think, hopefully. And that is Tomorrow by, oh gosh, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but I'll put it on the screen. Gabrielle or something, maybe? Anyway, I did start reading this. I've read 80 pages of it and I freaking love it so far. It's so good. I'm completely wrapped up in this world already, and I can't wait to get my book so I can continue reading. I did try to pick it up in a couple of bookstores in London and both had run out, and I was like, no, so I've ordered it online. Yeah, I just need the book. I need to carry on reading it. Yeah, so this is for conduit enhancement. I think Aya's conduit is a bow, so this is going to give my bow like superpowers, which is fitting because it's about video games and you like level up stuff in video games, so I feel like I'm leveling up my bow with tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Okay, finally, spells and incantations. The prompt is to learn a spell, and that spell is magic missiles, and so the prompt for this is the target length of the book we're going for is between 389 to 415 pages. And for this, I was originally going to use tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, but actually I'm changing it up and I'm going to be using the 10,000 Doors of January, because the amount of pages in this book, if I can not see spoilers, I think it's 391, which fits in just hits the mark. So the thing is, I think that's the last page. It better be. I just don't want spoilers. I don't want to keep looking, but it's like, that's the number just before the acknowledgements, so hopefully that is the right number. So that is Aurelium. I do want to say as well that I did buy G's bookmarks that she made for Aurelium, and I absolutely love them. I think they're stunning. So I got the main Aurelium bookmark here, which is so shiny and looks great, and I'm using this to read tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. And then I also have the 4 guild bookmarks as well here. One is in 10,000 Doors of January. I think I is in the guild Order of the Crescent. I do need to double check that, and I think it's this green one because there's a crescent on it, so it must be. Anyway, absolutely love these. And the last bookmark that I got from G's Etsy page was the questing one. Yeah, so this questing one I will be using when I go on the quest that G has set up, which I'm not going to do till after April, because we've got until the autumn equinox, which is in August, to do the quest. So I'm going to take the quest slow and do it step by step, and I'll be using my questing bookmark for that. So yeah, really happy with those purchases. They're such good quality. I will link G's channel down in the description, but yeah, I fully recommend anything G does. She's a genius. So that's Aurelium ticked off the TBR list right now. So much going on, guys. I've overdone it as usual. I just wanted to say that I have been, usually when I've been playing my game, picking from my TBR cup every time just to kind of get through the books. And for the last time I did that, I picked Brighter Than 1,000 Suns by Robert Junct, and I haven't finished this one. I'm nowhere near finished, but I was really loving it. I'm on page 74. And yeah, I put it down so I could catch up with my reading in March and didn't pick it back up again. But I am really enjoying it. I think I said when I picked it out of the TBR jar, I was worried that it was going to be dry, because that was my memory of trying to read it before, was that it was really dry. I don't know what I was reading before. I'm finding it really interesting. So I will be not picking from the TBR jar again this time. I'm just going to carry on with this, and then hopefully in May I can pick the next one. Then I've got Genre-a-thon, which I've been joining in with. Genre-a-thon is run by Whitney from Tiber's Den. And for the month of March, I haven't actually finished yet. I was actually going to read a memoir, but because this genre-a-thon is supposed to be about pushing your boundaries and your comfort zones and stuff like that, so I actually decided to go with a manga, because it was either read a manga or a memoir for March. I didn't manage to do it in March, but I have picked up My Brother's Husband, which is a manga, and this book is like much smaller than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, I picked this up from the library, and I'm about 100 pages in. And I absolutely love it. Like, I love it. It's so good. And I just want to give Mike a massive hug. For April, the genre is fantasy. And to kind of push my boundaries a little bit for this one, I'm going to use Hour of the Wolf, which is a Lithuania, like, steampunk fantasy, I think. I don't know if steampunk is sci-fi or fantasy. It might not work for this prompt, actually. It might be sci-fi. Yeah, I have to work that out. If not, then I'll have to just use my Robin Hobb, because that's fantasy for sure. And it's a short story, so I guess pushing my comfort zone is reading a short story, because generally I don't enjoy short stories as much. So actually that could work as well. Next up is Buzzwordathon. And for Buzzwordathon, for the month of April, it's to read a book with an emotion in the title. So when I watched the video, Kayla, who runs the channel Books and Lala, who set up Buzzwordathon, said that really weird. But anyway, Kayla was saying that you could use like an emotion like happy, sad, whatever, but you can also use a word that is linked to that emotion, like smile and things like that. The other example Kayla gave was to use the word tears, and on my TBR is already Passage of Tears, so I'll be using this one for Buzzwordathon. And the last challenge that I've been trying to do all year is Amy from A-Star Reads' viewer prompt from her TBR game. And the viewer prompt for the month of April was Koi Cup. So what this is for Amy is a pot full of like loads of books she's really excited to read, or really easy reads like short reads, stuff like that. Amy did pull a book, and I will link to Amy's channel down in the description if you want to go and watch the full kind of choosing of that prompt. She did pick a specific book that we could read. However, she did say that we could make our own choices, and so pick a load of books from our TBR that we are either really excited to read or are really short and easy to read. So yeah, I have picked 10 books to put on this list, and I'm going to quickly run through them now. I tried to pick, I think I picked 5 that I'm already reading and are already on my kind of TBR in some way, and 5 that I'm not already reading. Yeah, to make it kind of more risky, I guess. And I've numbered them 1 to 10. And I'm going to do a number generator and pick the book. So let me show you what I've chosen. Number 1 is Passage of Tears. Number 2 is a middle grade book that I'm currently reading called O.C. Daniel. Number 3 is Mythos. Number 4 is Homecoming. Number 5 is Sea of Tranquility. Number 6 is the second volume of My Brother's Husband. Number 7 is The Last Children of Tokyo. Number 8 is Space Struck. Number 9 is Wires and Nerve, Volume 2. And finally, number 10 is Sula. Okay, so let's go to my phone and screenshot a number generator. Okay, so I didn't do the 4. I'm going to generate now. Number 10, Sula. I'm going to be reading Sula by Toni Morrison. Thank you to Amy for your viewer prompt, as always. And yeah, this is the final book on my TBR. Oh, I totally forgot to mention another book that I'm already currently reading. Let me grab that. I am also reading this month The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is my first Brandon Sanderson book, and I'm so excited about it. I have already started. I'm on page 92. Again, stopping in the middle of the chapter. Not great. And I'm buddy reading this with Michelle from Reading on My Breaks. And yeah, I'm really excited to start. I'm already into the story. I'm excited where it's going. I did buy the audiobook for this as well, just to make it easier because it is huge and I've got so much on my TBR this month anyway. So I will be taking my time with it because it is a buddy read, and yeah, just made it easier for myself by having the option of audio as well. Well, I don't love the audiobook, to be fair. I'm not loving it so far, but maybe I'll get used to it. I don't know. Some audiobooks just take a little while to get used to, don't they? Okay, so let me grab all my books that I'm physically reading, because there are some that's on my list that are on ebook as well. Oh my gosh, this is unrealistic. It's never gonna happen. I can't even lift it up, and these are just kind of the short books. Here we go. This is part of my TBR. I have no words. I've also got Hour of the Wolf on there as well, which is not short. And yeah, tomorrow, as I said. And what are the other books that I've got on there? Loads. Now they're all together in physical form, I do totally acknowledge that this is massively unrealistic and it's not going to happen. But, you know, I can but try. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'd love to know what you're intending to read for the month of April, or what you've already read and what you're enjoying. And I'd love to know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.